Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Greetings to you from wherever you're watching from and whatever the time is there. My name is Annabelle Benson. I'm the general manager of Corinthia Villa Hotel and I am your Hospitality Edge coach. Hospitality Edge is basically a platform where we share ideas, skills, tips, just generally knowledge on how to navigate the hospitality industry effectively. But even if your organization doesn't fall under the hospitality industry, but you deal with clients, you deal with customers, you deal with people generally, I can assure you that you will benefit a lot from the knowledge we share here. Our goal and our desire is that everyone that comes across our videos would learn something that will take their organization to the zenith of where it ought to be top notch in that particular industry. Today, I'm dealing with a topic that is very dear to my heart. In fact, it's very close to my heart, and it's the sales department, because we've done series of trainings for different departments in the hotel or in other organizations. But today we're dealing with the sales department. I've been into sales for the past 15 years. I'm sure even more, but I don't want to exaggerate it, but I've been into sales for the past 15 years. Different industries, not just the hospitality industry. I've sold media, I've sold consulting, events, name it. So sales is something that's very dear to my heart. I can sell anything and everything as long as that thing is legal, So today I'm dealing with the sales team in the hotel or in any organization. I believe that as important as every department is in our organization, or in our organizations rather, the sales department is very key, because nothing happens until there is a sale. I mean, look at your organization. Is that you're selling goods, you're selling services, you're selling something. Nothing happens until there is a customer. So you don't necessarily even have to have a sales department for those organizations that don't have one, but you need to have sales strategies. You need to have sales plans, basically. Every department is important, I believe, because everybody should bring in their A game to make things work. But the sales department is very key, because that's what determines the money that the organization makes, the profits that the organization makes. So today, I'm dealing with a topic that I call how to outsell the competition, winning strategies for the hotel sales executive. The number one point here is know your products inside out and outside in. You can't be a salesperson and you're not familiar with your room types, your room rates, you're not familiar with the services within the department, you're not familiar with certain things in your organization. I'm narrowing it down to the hospitality industry, because that's actually the core of what we're dealing with. But like I said, every other industry can benefit from this. As a salesperson, you must know your product inside out, know everything and anything about your product, because you can be called up at any time to give a sales pitch or anything. So you must understand your product and you must know everything about it, be familiar with everything concerning that product. The second point is you must research and understand your markets. You must research and understand your markets. Now, under this point, so you must research and understand your markets. Everybody is not your customer, and everybody should not even be your customer. But there's something I always tell salespeople. Everybody is not your customer, but everybody can be your customer. However, for hotels, you should understand who your clients are. Go for corporate organizations, go for travel agencies, go for people that do events, go for people that want to have a leisure time with their family members, with their friends. You're not supposed to be in the market when you're a salesperson selling hotel. So you must identify who your target customers are. Even within your target customers, everybody's still not your customer, because there's a slogan I would always use: some will, some won't, so what next? So you must identify your target customers and know how to meet their needs, basically. Another point under understanding your market is that you must know what your competitors are doing. What are their strategies? What are their prices? What are they offering people? What are their packages, basically? In studying your competitors, you're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything evil. You want to sell, right? You want to make money for your organization. You're not demarketing them. I don't encourage demarketing your competitors, but you study them to understand what they do and do it better, or do it as good as they are doing it. Everybody has their own customers. I personally believe this in sales, that everybody has their own customers. So what it means is that everybody's customer should not be your customer, because there's something peculiar about you that customer saw and wants to come to you. So that's the second point. The third point is master prospecting. The act of prospecting in the marketplace cannot be overemphasized. You must go out, you must sell, you must market, you must prospect. Back in those days when we started doing sales, there's something we used to do, that every day you pick a certain number of organizations that you must visit, to a certain number of persons that you must talk to. The power of prospecting cannot be overemphasized. You need to prospect. You need to go and search out. You need to go and talk to somebody about what you do. Technology these days has made it easier. You don't necessarily even need to go to somebody's office. You can send emails. You can use LinkedIn. You can go for trade shows. A lot of things that you can do now, without necessarily doing the traditional marketing of going from one place to another. But you must prospect. You must generate your leads that will now lead you into business. Sometimes the people you prospect might not necessarily be your clients, but they can link you to your client. They can have family members, they can have friends, they can have church members, they can have colleagues that need your product. So you must prospect. You can't sit down in your high horse chair and feel that you've achieved something. No matter your level or age in marketing, in sales, you must prospect and you must generate leads. If not, you basically run out of the market. The next point is perfect your sales pitch. Perfect your sales pitch. Don't just assume that, okay, I know what to say. When I get there, I know the right thing to say. No, you must perfect your sales pitch. Now, this is what I tell people. When you're going for don't have a one-off sales pitch. No, I don't believe in that. Perfect your sales pitch to tune with the need of that organization. Every organization has different needs. Now, for the hotel, let me give you an instance. You're going to an organization that would always have need for 70 rooms every week, right? And let's assume you have 70 rooms in your organization. What you should do is, that should be your selling point, because there are some hotels that don't have up to 70 rooms, and probably they've tried to make reservations in certain hotels, and the frustration is that most hotels don't have up to 70 rooms. That should be your pitch for that particular organization. So you shouldn't have a particular pitch that is every day, everywhere you go to, this is what I must say. No, before you go to an organization, before you go to a person, you must understand what their needs are. Your sales pitch should be in tune with what the need of that organization is, not just about what your hotel has. Oh, we have a swimming pool it's an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Our hotel is so beautiful, it lights up at night. No. How are you meeting the need of that client? You can use stories, you can paint scenarios, but you need to be clear and confident and very persuasive. One thing I've learned about the sales executives is that if you're not confident, you will not sell. There are certain places you cannot enter if you're not putting on confidence. That's why I always tell salespeople, the way you dress, the way you appear is very important. There are places that I've gone to sell that when I get there, they won't even ask me questions. They'll just let me in, because they would assume that I'm the CEO of my company or something. It's just the way I appear. And some places you get to, they start asking, who do you want to see? Why are you coming here? The security man that is asking you all these questions, and they have not even gone to the reception. They're already asking you questions from the gate. It's because you're already appearing scared. Like, there's a way you come. You're not being rude, but my darling, you're being confident, you're being persuasive, you're being clear, and you'll be let into the place. A salesperson must be clear, confident, and persuasive at all times. The final point for today, because I don't want these videos too lengthy, the final point for today is relationship building is key. Everyone wants to do business to some extent with somebody that they trust, with somebody that they have a little bit of relationship with. I'm not saying get over friendly with your guests. That's not what Annabelle Benson is saying. Annabelle Benson is saying stay in touch. A simple call, a simple follow-up, a simple monthly messages, seasonal greetings, sending personalized notes. Sometimes I even go as far as attending birthdays of the children of my clients. Yes, it depends on how important that client is to me. I would attend your dedication. I would attend your birthday. I would attend your spouse's event. I would wish your spouse happy birthday. Just something to make the person feel a little bit comfortable dealing with you. So that you're not too distant from this person. You're a bit close to this person and this person. Yes, I know that some people don't like to do business with people that they know too closely, so that if things go south, they can address it. I can be that kind of person. However, there should be that little level of relationship between you and your prospect or your client. I've had to visit a client in the hospital. I called her one day to follow up on her, and she said she wasn't feeling fine. She was admitted in one of the hospitals in Abuja. I went to, with my money, I didn't wait for the organization. I went to a fast food. I bought half, I can never forget that day, moi moi, plantain, and fish. It was quite expensive. And I came out, I bought fruits for her, and I took it to the hospital. That woman has not forgotten that thing till today. Did I do it out of selfishness? No. There was still some level of care, right? But I was gunning for something. I was looking for something. Somebody else would just say, oh, sorry about that, ma. We sincerely apologize with you. Don't worry, get well soon. But I went the extra mile. Till tomorrow, that woman still patronizes me because I gave her some level, she saw some level of, care coming from me. So when you're selling, when you're prospecting, or when you have a client, you must show some level of care. So that point basically is to create some level of trust, and then automatically become their go-to person. I do other businesses aside hospitality. I do events, I sell fashion accessories. There's a way to build such relationship that you become their go-to person for anything. There are sometimes I might not have posted on my status for weeks, basically, but somebody would always remember that Annabelle sells shoes, Annabelle is into events, Annabelle does something, and I've automatically become their go-to person. And how is that built? That's built simply by building a solid relationship, a solid professional relationship with the person. For the sake of time, I'm going to stop this video here. In a subsequent video after this, I'm going to finish up the points for salespeople. I've been able to, for the sake of this content, I've been able to prepare 10 points for salespeople, but we have over 50 points on how to outsell as a salesperson. However, if you want us to come in and train your sales team, train your sales executive, have discussions with you on sales plans, sales strategies to move your organization to the next level, please contact us via our email, which will be put on this screen. Because like I said, sales is a department that is very, dear to my heart. Basically, sales is very dear to my heart. Sales is very important to me, and I know that sales should be very important to anyone that is willing to excel in every organization. Till we see next time. Bye.